this is Monique. Welcome to One Mo Project. Today I'm going to show you how I made these smocked Christmas ornaments. It's going to be a two-part video though. So the first part will be how to do the smocking, and the second part will be how to finish them so that they look seamless, and how to do this spider web thing on the top and the bottom to hide those raw edges. After all, it's never too late, it's never too early to start doing Christmas stuff. Christmas stuff is always fun because it's the one time a year when gaudy is actually a good thing. So if you're going to make this geometric one, you need a piece of fabric that's about 5 1/4 inches tall by 22 1/2 inches. That would be half of the 45-inch fabric. But if you're going to make this with a picture smocking, I would recommend you go ahead and use the whole 45 inches so that you end up with some really tight pleats. My pleats stretch out on this size, and that's the look I'm going for, so that's good. But if you have a picture smocked ornament, this is going to mess it up. This is going to be too spread out on your pleats, so you would want to make it longer. And then I would tie it so that my fabric is tied at the circumference of this ball. You know, and you can do the whole math thing where you do the pi business and figure it out, but you know, I have people for pie. I'm not going to do pie unless I'm eating pie. Then let's bring on some pie, and can I have some ice cream with that? Anyway, if you're doing the pictures one, then you would want to use more fabric and tie it off that way. But if you're going to do the geometric one, this works, and you can tie it pretty much any reasonable length so that it just stays a little bit neat. Your pleats aren't all spread out when you begin, but this is what we're shooting for. On this video though, we're just going to make the smocked fabric, and on the next one we'll construct it. All right, let's get started. So gather your supplies. You're going to need your pleated fabric. We talked about that a little bit already, but you're going to need some pleated fabric, a 2 1/2 inch foam ball, DMC. I only use DMC. I just trust that it's going to handle well. DMC embroidery floss in whatever color you want. A crewel or a darner needle. I put the sizes on a supply list at the end. The smocking plate. The crochet thread that I used to make the hanger, and of course some scissors. Here's the smocking plate I used to make the one in this video, but if you have something else you want to do, of course you can. If you have bishop plates, you can use pieces from that to get ideas, or you can just do any geometric that has a lot of, you know, up and down in it. So you got to find the end that you can pull, and if you find the right end, it pulls without tangling on itself. Mostly that happens. Occasionally it doesn't. The DMC would recommend you use about 24 inches, but I have to be honest, I really like to use a little more, like 36. Do you see that? Perfect. Anyway, when I separate it, because there are 6 and you're only going to use 3, I grab one and pull it out, and then straighten out the other 5, and then grab the next one and pull it out and lay it down. If you untwist them when you pull them apart, they're going to want to twist themselves back, and sometimes that can get them very tangled. This way you're not affecting the twist of the thread quite so much, so they don't have to twist back to where they're relaxed. And then I tie one set of them together, and I go around with my finger a few times so that my knot's a little bit bigger than just one simple knot, one simple overhand knot. Get that through there and tie that, and then I slide my fingers down the whole length of it to straighten them, and then wrap it around those 2 fingers so that I can set it aside. And I put it on the skein that is that color so that if it gets, am I using a bag of thread or something, they don't all get lost in there if you have colors that are close. And then do the same thing to get the second set ready. All right, now time to start using it. I cut off the extra tail closer to the knot just because I'm that way. A little bit silly about not having really long threads on the back, but it's just how I do it. And yes, I licked that thread. The spit on it is actually helpful. It makes it a little bit stiffer, and it makes them stick together better. So if you wear lipstick, maybe you can lick your fingers, or if you just don't want to do it, you can lick your fingers. But the spit really does have a purpose. So now we're ready. So see, this fabric has 12 gathering stitches, but I'm going to smock 10 rows, and that's because I don't want to smock all the way to that last gathering stitch, because then I get to the part where it's starting to ruffle. So the first row is really going to be, oh no, a knot. Nah, just a twist. The first row is actually going to be on that second gathering thread, and I come in from the back, and after that you stay on the top until you're finished with that piece of thread. Going down, you see I'm going to move down to the next gathering thread. The tail of the thread goes up. and then I can pick up the next one. This is a 5-step wave. That means there are 5 pleats that are picked up between the 2 rows, between the 2 gathering threads. So every time I do one of these 5 steps, I put the thread back up because I'm going down. Another important thing to see is that my needle is always parallel to the pleats. It doesn't go at an angle as I move. The thread ends up at an angle because of where the next place that it goes into the fabric, but the needle always stays parallel. That's like a cross, not in line with, not at a weird angle to, but parallel to it. So that was 1, and I made the thread go down. 2 going up, thread goes down. 3 going up, and then make the thread go down. How many more? 2 more. 4 going up, thread goes down, and then when I get to the 5th one, I'm back to that top gathering thread. Now I'm going to switch directions. So that one, and this one doesn't count in the 5. So this is the change. We're going to call it change. So the thread changed to go up, I change directions. Now I start counting 1. Thread goes back up. Oh, we'll go a little faster now. 2, thread up, 3, 4, 5, change. The thread changed and it goes the other direction. Doesn't count as one of the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, change. Thread changed, change directions. And the next one, the one after the change, counts as 1. So it's really almost like there's 7. If you count from the bottom to the top, there's 7 because there's a change at the top and a change at the bottom that is not part of the 5. If you look at the plate, you can sort of see that a little better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Until I get to the end where I'm up again. And I want to be up at the top there because then it matches the other end so that I get the seamless look when I'm done. I don't want to go all the way and use up all the pleats just because they're there, because then I can't make it look seamless because my pattern will change. Okay? There it is, the first row. Time to change thread. And so I'm going to go through the same process with all the thread. I pulled it into 3s, tied it, set it aside. This wave is only going to go halfway between the 2 gathering threads. And it only has 2 steps. So 1, 2, change, 1, 2, change. The advantage now is that every time I come back up to the green one, it's got to match. And if it doesn't match, I know I messed up somewhere. But this is the same idea. Even though there's only 2 steps, if you start on the change and count up, it's like there's 4, because there's change, 1, 2, change that you can count going across there. But it's not that many. It's just 1, 2, change, 1, 2, change, 1, 2, change. So the second one is halfway. I go a quarter of a way between the 2 gathering threads, and then I go to the middle, and then I change. So there, tie that off in the back. So going to keep doing that over and over and making more rows. Here's something you can do though. If you get to the end and you want to go back the other direction, instead of having to cut your thread, you can turn it upside down. Because it's the same difference. You have to keep it straight in your head, which is the top for most part, but you just keep going the other direction and you don't have to cut and tie your thread so much. I don't know why that's a big deal to me, but I like the back not to just be so terribly messy. And this is just one of the ways that it makes it a little bit neater on the back. There it is. Oh, nice. So Christmassy looking. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you made an ornament. Or 2. Or 3. Or a dozen even. And if you did, and you can figure out how to send me a picture of your ornament, I would love to see a picture of your ornament. If you can put it in the comments or something, that'd be fantastic. This time of year, I often wonder what it was like for the shepherds who are out in the field doing their work, you know, watching those stinky sheep when an angel appeared. And the first thing the angel had to say to them was, don't be terrified. Don't be afraid. Apparently, angels are kind of terrifying. But the angel said to them, don't be afraid. For today, I bring you good news of great joy for all people, that a Savior has been born, and he is Christ the Lord. How fantastic. Anyway, hope you made an ornament. See you next time.